Alright, so Mike did a video that we'll link either in the description below or the comments about the Euro mess kit, which is more of your German, your Polish style. This one here is, you can find them as Serbian mess kits or Yugoslavian mess kits. They're the exact same. This is a Dutch saw pouch, just so you can model this up. It fits in here pretty tight. You don't even have to keep it in the Serbian one, but I keep it in for if I'm not having any molly gear. It's got the belt loops on it. Inside, you have your mess kit, and it does include nesting silverware. And if you look inside, it has the spot for it. If you get these, make sure it includes the nesting silverware. So it's going to give you...
Those aren't cheap by themselves.
It's going to give you a knife with a can opener. Can opener does work. Knife's kind of eh.
There's not a block of butter out there that could withstand that knife.
You got a fork that's very European. Then
it's a cartoon fork is what it looks like.
You have this massive spoon because you only have one thing to heat up, and you're probably going to be making stew. So they give you a big old soup spoon. The good part about, if you look in like the West German style mess kits, they got empty space inside. A lot of people put their, like you saw in Mike's video, the stove and the fuel. And Yugoslavia Serbians, they decided instead to put a 1 liter canteen inside the mess kit. So it's a 1 liter
with handle.
With handle, boiling vessel. This I think holds almost a liter, and they do fit. So
why do they fit like that? Do you know?
Yeah, it's if you were going to be inserted like from a field kitchen.
Oh, okay, I got you.
You'd go through the line and put it in each side. If not, you're probably not even going to really use this. You'll just eat out of your stew pot. They do give you a small cup because you don't drink out of your canteen. Because if you drink, you can get bacteria on the end.
Right.
Or if you don't clean it, so they give you a small cup for that, and then a 1 liter canteen that fits inside. So like if you're doing dehydrated or you're making stew out of like root vegetable stuff, at least this gives you your water in your meal kit.
Yeah. So if you're doing freeze dried, having that little stash of water would be kind of nice. And really, to be honest, that liter container does look ideal for freeze dried. So that, if you're a freeze dried guy, you might want to look at these. They're about $15, right?
Yeah, about $15. You can get them on most places, but like I said, just make sure it includes nesting silverware.
Yeah, I like the free candy van size of the European ones, but having the canteen in this makes it kind of nice, and the silverware, those are normally $6 to $9 by themselves if you buy them on their own. So you're almost getting half of this basically for free.
I mean, if you don't want to use the canteen, you can store alcohol stoves in there. I mean, it will.
But I think this might be a solution for somebody taking a different approach. You know, I use freeze dried a lot, so this really I do own one of these. So you know, there's that. But yeah, that having the water included. Water is real precious when you're talking about freeze dried, and that makes freeze dried maybe not your best friend on the whole bug out situation, unless you got a lot of water filtration and water.
I went with this one just because down here in Florida, water is important, and this is an extra liter water. If you go through what you're normally carrying, that's easy to reach. I mean, you're not going to use this as your primary water just because it'd
be a pain in the ass to get to.
Yeah.
But having your backup, so when you get there, you have your designated cooking water. Yep. Yeah, that's, I don't know.
And it's also water, like if you get somewhere and you have your base camp set up water filter, you can start cooking before, you don't have to wait for it to filter. You got water to drink, some water to start cooking, yeah.
Yeah, I'm liking that, man. Or if you were doing a post, as the person went out to, switch off with the other guy, he could have that thing full of water, and that could be his, 1 or 2 meals for the day, water-wise. So he doesn't have, it's less things that he has to worry about.
It's one less thing to carry. I don't need water for cooking. I can have 2 canteens to drink, and then it's in my mess kit, the cooking water.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm liking it. Anything else?
No, that's about it.
Perfect.
The only downside of this is you don't have two cooking vessels like you do with the Euro one.
Yeah.
The West German ones, you got two things you can fry up in one or boil water in the other one. That's the only downside. You only got one.
Yeah, and with the Euro ones, you can share. You know.
Yeah.
So like you can have it full of goulash or whatever you got, stew or whatever, and then you can dole out from the big one to the little one and then give it to someone else.
You could. I mean, you have the
this is more individual. Yeah. I mean, you could still do it in this one, but
I do carry a Pathfinder water bottle set that's got another one of those cups you put
from the stainless steel bottle.
Yeah. That I will use. That's more like coffee and stuff, so I do have two ways to cook something. I cook something and heat up like water for coffee or tea or whatever I decide to drink. So like you do have to carry something else to boil in, so you have two things, but most people have the GI canteen and the GI cup, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
To have a boiling cup for water, coffee.
Those are handy. I have one of the Russian enamel mugs from World War II with the leather wrapped handle.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how I still have it after all these years, but I've had it since I was a kid. Anyway, yeah, that's about it, right?
Yep.
There we go.